literally, who could have used some help. If you'd come along and said, sister, can I help you? Oh, thank you, my knight in shining armor.
When you had knights in shining armor, you didn't appreciate them. They're gone. Describe it. Let's talk about it.
Couple of whistles, couple of dams, but not one single offer. And me and her just looked at each other like, Didn't even have to say a word, just And we knew what it meant. It's like this new age, this new batch of men just think they're baddies and can't get their hands calloused seeing two women, literally, who could have used some help. If you'd come along and said, sister, can I help you? Oh, thank you, my knight in shining armor, please help me. I would have loved the help. Was none to be found. And this is what me and my sisters talk about. We will be shoveling our driveway, I needed a man then. I needed his back, his shoulders, his pecs, his beer belly. I didn't give a shit. I needed a man then. I didn't have a man to do it, so I had to do the man's job. Or the job, whatever you want to call it. That was frustrating. Now there's going to be a whole heap of guys in my comments talking about, well, see, that's with the single life, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you know what? It's like you can't win for losing. So if my powers of discernment are showing me that this man, he's not it, because he's showing me his maleness and not his manhood. This guy is showing me the same thing. I'm just not going to settle for a male when I require a man.
So then why do you settle for the utility of a man when you need physical labor done? Why don't you just ask? Hey, most men are just, if you ask, you'll get the help. You see it all the time. You just have this expectation, and not just her, not just Melyssa Ford, right? Let's not be disingenuous. Most of the times when we see this video about you're saying, well, why aren't men doing this? You want men to somehow know exactly when you need the help, not when it's going to be offered and won't be offensive, or that somehow they can intuit when you actually are desirous of that. When it's and it's easy to determine when, right? Sometimes when it's a natural disaster, that's when you want a man. When there's something that goes bump at night, that's when you want a man. But all those other times in the in-between, you don't care for it. When you spend a lot of your career, a lot of your time benefiting from the lust of men, benefiting from the male attention, and then also downplaying that lust and attention and how it benefited you in your life, what do you think is supposed to happen? Part of this is a natural consequence of aging out. It's tough. It's tough to understand that. But men, you can be upset about it. But as you get older, and supermodels have said this, who were on catwalks, who grace magazines, we start to hit a certain age and it feels like you become invisible to men. When we're led by our lust and our attention, our desires, specifically Mrsochimaeze Ford, you benefit from that. You have the attention. There's a point in the game, specifically King Magazine, you could have had your pick. You could have had your pick, not from just the flashy men, from also the salt of the earth type. You could have had your pick. You stayed in the game, you played the game, you decided, you moved how you wanted to move. More power to you. You've had a steady career. But now, you're saying the same thing. For all your success, all the attention you enjoyed, you have regular women problems. You want someone to come and physically do a thing for you, but you don't appreciate men in general to understand that. If you did, you'd ask. You say, hey, I appreciate that you do not have to help. I understand that because of the way the system has been in play, where we look at masculinity, we attach toxicity in front of it, and we say it's all bad. We've denigrated, we've downplayed, we've even dissed you to your face. That being said, could you help me? You'd get a lot farther. You get a lot farther when you actually acknowledge the reasons why the game has changed. You want men to be chivalrous to absorb a lot of damage, a lot of hurt, a lot of angst, a lot of problems. At the same time, you also help influence the type of men we have today. When you tell men you need to be more sensitive, you need to be more in tune. When men start understanding, hey, I may need to go to therapy, I may need to look at some stuff, and you go to therapy and your therapist helps you realize, yeah, your wife's the problem. Your interactions with women. Some women have been taking advantage of you. You haven't set up clear boundaries. You haven't done that sort of work. So therefore, this is the situation you find yourself in. When you do set up clear boundaries as a man, sometimes this is what it ends up looking like. I'm not going to interfere with you in your life when you need something lifted, something moved, someone's back to be put in it. No, until you ask. That's the line. What I say all the time on this channel, what happens a lot, men end up taking that proverbial and physical step back from women. I'm just going to observe and report. I'm trying to lift something up a flight of stairs. I'm trying to put something in my truck. I went to Home Depot. I had to put this. That's when you need the men. But 5 seconds before that, you were saying that you could do it all. What do you think men are doing outside of you? You think we're not listening? You think we're not being affected by your words? It's just the same thing when you're in a relationship with a man and he was quiet, but suddenly you see him start slowly checking out because your words matter. Your words matter. And we always turn around and we look at the end results and we forget how we both played parts in getting here. You forget the whole Me Too movement. You forget how society in large and mainstream society continued and continues to downplay men, their accomplishments, their worth. You're so concerned about equaling the sexes that you say, well, by any means necessary, let me cut down the males. Therefore, the women are in better standing. What ends up happening? You find yourself in positions like this where men just say, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. The shame is also ineffective now. You need a man because you have to shovel? Because you have to shovel? That's why. Again, part of the issue here is men, we haven't really caught on in that sense. You're still looking at women, you're saying, I want to fall in love. I want something. I want someone that's going to care for me in that way. You got to listen to some things that some of these women are saying. There's some okay, of course, we're going to always make that clear. This is not all women. I don't even think this is a majority of women, but this is one of the leaders that they listen to, that they absorb the information from. Now that you're older, the male attention has largely shifted from you. That's when you want to have these think pieces, but you still always have to have a jab in there about how the men aren't really useful. What's wrong with them? You isolated. You threw the stone, not you, Melyssa Ford. But women have thrown the stone and then hid their hands and say, why are you like this? Who hurt you? You. You were part of it. This is why men are cautious now. This is why you don't get that puppy love, that romance that you're looking for, that you say, hey, just what the men do in the fictional stories, in the fantasy novels, in the fantasy smut. Do that and then we'll be happy. I'm like, no. No. Why? This is why marriage rates are down. We seem to forget this whole thing about marriage. It requires a man getting down on one knee and saying, will you marry me? Men are stop doing that. This is part of the problem why marriage has gone down. Women are also saying, oh, it's because we're saying, no, you're not being asked in the same rates. Until we start bridging these divides, and the easiest way to do that is say, hey, me and my own, we played a sort of a role in this thing. And we're looking to see what we can do to actually make things better for now. So listen, I know you have no right to ask it, but did you mind helping me? Yeah, okay, I could do that. Right? All right, yeah, that's not a problem. I'll be happy to. Once you clear that hurdle, once you make it clear, I'm not gonna, if I offer my help, you're not gonna turn around and snap at me, say, who says what? We can do it. You request help, you probably would get it. That goes for a lot of scenarios. Men are around, you say, hey, do you mind helping me get this in my car? Yeah, sure. Hey, do you mind? Yeah, sure. It could not be easier. Hey, could you put this in the overhead for me? Yeah, sure, I got you. But you get mad when I watch you do it, and I'm watching to see if you need help, but you have to ask me for it. That's not difficult. That's not difficult. But it's easy to play victim. It's easy to be like, look, something wrong with all the men. Something wrong with society in large, but this is the way it is now. You don't have to like it. But if you disagree, let me know down in the comments. If you see other videos on your screen, check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those in those videos. And of course, if you listen to the sound of my voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. We're just trying to build something dope. I'll see you in the next one.